Hey everyone, I'm Case Aiken, and you can find a Superman analog in all kinds of places, including prose. The anthology of short stories, Superheroes from the 90s, was introduced to me by friend of the show, Alan Kistler, and it has a plethora of examples. So let's start with my favorite, Ultima, from Paul Kupperberg's Reflected Glory. And I should note that before we get further into the episode, this is a book, like a book, and so I don't really see a lot of official artwork for the character, so bear with me as I give approximations. Anyway, Ultima is some kind of mutant who appeared on the scene in a world that is very much like ours, devoid of heroes and villains, lacking any kind of superpowered beings really. For the world he exists in, he is a paradigm shift, and to that end, he tries to do his best to help the world, but things don't always go right, and so his public image is frankly terrible. However, the story is told from the perspective of a PR guy who leaps at the chance to represent the world's first superhero. He gets Ultima a proper costume, and starts getting stories in the papers, spinning every adventure a little more altruistically. See, Ultima is a well-intentioned person who kept trying to arrest criminals, and so would give them the chance to surrender, but every single time they resisted, it went wrong. He was so strong that there was really no chance he could deal with them without accidentally hurting or killing them. In this way, the story is very much a deconstructionist approach to a very Golden Age style take on Superman. A bully for justice. But here, flipping a car full of mobsters is probably not going to end well for anyone involved. The story then follows the psychological trauma he experiences, unable to let crime go on, but also lacking the finesse to do anything without causing harm. It's a great story and one of the two most memorable for me from the anthology. Ultima's powers are explained to be psychic in nature. He can shield himself from harm, fly, and exhibits super strength all through the power of his mind. However, he needs to be mentally prepared, so he was weak and vulnerable when not prepared or thinking about his powers. Unfortunately, his Achilles heel was if you caught him unaware, he was basically just a normal person. And this psychic nature for Superman-type powers is extremely similar to various Superman analogs that we've discussed so far, such as Gladiator, Miracle Man, Hellion, M, and hell, even the 90s Superboy. It was a popular concept in more sci-fi-oriented versions of the archetype. And while the story doesn't go that deep into the personal details of Ultima, we do find out that this is a person who is haunted by his past. This is a person who is trying to do good, but has seen how much just the act itself can be perverted because of his inability to use the power responsibly. It's a really cool read, frankly dealing with the likely collateral damage that having superpowers and trying to put them to use would cause in a world not built for that. It makes me think of the World of Cardboard speech from Justice League Unlimited, because ultimately, if you're strong enough to rip metal apart, bone is pretty easy to break, and humans are fragile creatures. Now, for those interested in the book, unfortunately, the Superheroes anthology is not available, as far as I can tell, in any kind of ebook format, so you'll have to hunt down a copy. However, the story itself is available in the In My Shorts collection of short stories by Paul Kupperberg, so that's always worth checking out, and regardless, I'd say it's worth the price. If you can find a copy of Superheroes, there are a lot of good stories in there. Not every single one is a winner, but several are great, and I will be coming back to them for future videos. But hey, next time, I want to jump over to a parody of the Superman archetype, when we talk about a character who is as much a cultural icon as Superman himself. But until then, stay super, man. Hey, this is Case in the recording booth saying thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I am sorry that the output has gotten weird. Lately, it is difficult to find a lot of time these days due to baby and other stuff. But I really appreciate it. The fact that I continue to get views is really amazing to me, and I appreciate you all. And I hope to have more content out there soon. Oh, and hey, after I recorded the audio for this episode, I actually got a chance to interview Paul Kupperberg about this short story. That's going to be coming up in an episode of the Men of Steel podcast discussing Reflected Glory, and we'll be posting the interview here on this YouTube channel once that has gone live. So be on the lookout for that. But thank you, and I hope you all have a great week.